Have you ever looked at your life and thought, why can't I get it together? You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not weak, you are distracted. The world has trained your mind to be in a constant state of noise. Notifications buzzing, screens flashing, worries piling up, voices pulling you in 1,000 directions. And in the chaos, you've forgotten your own power. You've forgotten what it feels like to be focused. You've forgotten the strength that comes from clarity, but it's still in you. That fire, that discipline, that drive. It's buried under layers of distraction, not absence. You see, weakness is often misunderstood. People assume it's the inability to act, the lack of strength or will. But true weakness is rarely about capability. It's about misdirection. When your energy is spread too thin, chasing everything and achieving nothing, it's not because you're incapable. It's because your focus is scattered. You're pulled in too many directions to see the path that's right in front of you. Think about the most successful people in the world. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Are they superhuman? No. They just operate with focus. They know what to cut out. They know what deserves their attention and what doesn't. They're not perfect. They just refuse to be slaves to distraction. That's their superpower. And here's the truth. Your life will only change when you do. And that change doesn't start with a dramatic shift. It starts with a decision. The decision to reclaim your mind. To stop giving your energy to things that drain you. To step away from the noise and lock into the mission. It's not that you can't win, it's that you haven't sat down, cleared the clutter, and decided you must win. You are powerful beyond measure, but you're handing over that power every time you scroll mindlessly, every time you procrastinate, every time you numb your die. Comfort with temporary pleasure, that's not weakness. It's misused strength, it's untrained focus. But it can be trained, it can be rebuilt, starting today. This message isn't meant to make you feel guilty, it's meant to wake you up. Because there's a life waiting for you, a higher level you haven't even touched yet, a version of you that's disciplined, unstoppable, focused. And that version is already inside you. You don't need to find it. You need to uncover it by eliminating distractions and controlling what controls you. So if you've been calling yourself weak, stop. You're not weak, you're distracted. And once you fix your focus, everything else begins to fall into place. In this video, we're going to break down the process one step at a time, so you can stop surviving in the noise and start thriving in clarity. Let's begin. The lie of weakness. You've been told you're not trying hard enough, that you're lazy, that you're weak, that you don't have what it takes. And over time, you started to believe it. But the truth is, weakness isn't your problem. You are not weak. You are overstimulated, overwhelmed, and mentally scattered. You've been living in a world that profits off your attention, your doubt, and your silence. Distraction is a thief, but it's not loud. It doesn't shout. It sneaks in through a scroll, a ping, a worry, a comparison. And before you know it, you're halfway through the day, feeling tired, unproductive, anxious, and confused about why. Your body isn't tired, your soul is. It's tired from being pulled in 100 directions without getting anywhere meaningful. Think about this. How many hours have you spent this week not focused on your goals, but reacting to someone else's agenda? You wake up, check your phone, and you're already behind, mentally competing, comparing, consuming. Distraction has become your routine, and when you're constantly distracted, you begin to mistake exhaustion for weakness. You begin to confuse confusion with incapability. But that's the trick. Here's the real cost of distraction. It silences your instincts, it dulls your confidence, it keeps you in survival mode when you were made to lead, to rise, to grow. The voice that says you're weak is not your voice, it's the echo of a distracted mind. So what happens when you remove the distractions? What happens when you stop feeding your energy into every notification, every critic, every pointless argument? You gain space, and in that space, your real power returns. You start remembering who you are. You stop reacting to life and start building it. You stop apologizing for your dreams and start protecting them. Because your strength isn't missing. It's buried under noise, under habits that won't serve you, under fear disguised as entertainment. But once you clear that noise, even a little, you'll realize how much focus you still have, how much power is still inside you. You don't need to become strong. You need to unlearn distraction. You don't need to find purpose. You need to eliminate what's in its way. And the moment you do, everything changes. This is not about hustle culture. It's about soul clarity. It's about coming back to yourself. Because you've never been weak, not even once. You've just been giving too much energy to the things that don't matter. But that ends now. Clarity is your superpower. Distraction doesn't just steal your time. It robs you of your clarity. And without clarity, your strength is scattered. You might feel like you're failing or not strong enough. But the truth is, you're not locked in. You're not clear. You're chasing too many things at once. And that chaos is making you forget your power. You know what clarity does? It gives you direction. It gives you the power to say no to what doesn't matter and a powerful yes to what does. Without clarity, everything feels urgent, everything feels important. But when you gain clarity, you filter the noise. You start to focus on the mission, not the momentary temptation. Have you ever noticed that when you're dialed in, when you know exactly what you're going after, you stop caring about people's opinions? You don't check your phone every 5 minutes. You don't waste your energy arguing or worrying about things you can't control. That's because clarity removes confusion. It gives your mind a target, and a focused mind is a strong mind. But let's be honest, clarity doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice. It's a practice. You have to ask yourself real questions. What do I really want? What kind of life am I building? What does winning even look like to me? If you can't answer those questions clearly, no wonder you feel lost. No wonder you feel weak. You're not lacking strength, you're lacking vision. This is where your power comes back. When you stop scrolling endlessly, when you stop jumping from one task to the next, when you start taking control of what enters your mind, you get your clarity back. And when you have that, you become dangerous, in the best way possible. People will ask you how you got so focused. They'll say, you've changed. And you'll smile because you know you didn't get stronger overnight. You just got clear. You stopped letting the world pull you in 10 directions. You planted your feet, you chose your battle, and now you're winning one focused day at a time. You're not weak, you're distracted. Remove the noise and watch what you become. Stop scrolling, start building. Let's get real. How much of your day is spent watching someone else's life? Scrolling through highlight reels, comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's best moment. And you wonder why you feel behind, why you feel like you're not enough, why your confidence is shattered. It's not weakness, it's mental clutter, it's noise, and it's time to clear it. Distraction is a subtle thief. It doesn't come in shouting. It tiptoes in through your notifications. It whispers through your endless just 5 more minutes on social media. It pretends to be harmless, but it's stealing your most precious resource, your attention. And if someone controls your attention, they control your life. You have dreams, big ones, but dreams don't build themselves. They need time, effort, consistency. They need your presence. And the reason you're not seeing progress, you're showing up for everyone else's content, everyone else's wins, but not your own life. You're feeding your mind distraction when it's starving for discipline. It's time to flip the switch. Instead of waking up and checking your phone, wake up and check yourself. What's your mission today? What's one thing you'll build, one thing you'll conquer, one thing you'll finish? That shift from consuming to creating is everything. When you stop scrolling and start building, something changes inside you. You stop feeling helpless. You stop feeling like life is passing you by, because now you're in motion. You're building momentum, and momentum is how confidence is born. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too little that actually matters. You're distracted by junk that doesn't feed your purpose. You've been overstimulated and underfulfilled. But here's the truth. That phone, that TV, that endless entertainment, it'll still be there. But your dreams, you're dying while you delay. So build, brick by brick, day by day. Build the body, build the mindset, build the habits, build the life. Even if it's slow, even if no one's watching, because you don't need an audience, you need progress. And progress doesn't happen when you're busy being distracted. It happens when you choose to do the hard, boring, consistent work every single day. You're not weak, you're distracted. And the moment you cut the distractions is the moment you start winning. You're not broken, you're unfocused. Let's strip away the noise, strip away the excuses, strip away the self-pity. Because deep inside you there's a fire. It may be dim right now, buried under doubts and distractions, but it's there. And no, you're not broken. You're not finished. You're just unfocused. And focus, that's something you can control. We live in a world where everything is fighting for your attention. Algorithms are designed to keep you hooked, to make you forget who you are. But you weren't born to be a consumer. You were born to be a creator, a leader, a force. And if you've forgotten that, it's only because you've been too busy chasing noise instead of chasing your purpose. You're not weak because you feel lost sometimes. You're not weak because you get tired. That's human. But weakness is when you settle there, when you let confusion become your identity. And you're not here to settle. You're here to rise. It's time to reclaim your focus. That means shutting down the things that steal your energy. That means saying no to habits that don't serve your future. That means rewriting your priorities. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. You don't need more motivation. You need more intention, more structure, a clear vision of who you want to become, and the discipline to work toward that person every single day. Because clarity is the antidote to confusion. And when you get clear on your why, your focus sharpens like a blade. Ask yourself, what am I fighting for? If you can't answer that, no wonder you feel stuck. You can't hit a target you haven't named. So get still, get honest, define your mission, and then lock in. Because when you focus, truly focus, everything changes. You begin to realize how much power you've been giving away. You see how strong you actually are when you're not being pulled in 10 different directions. And that version O, FU, the focused one, is unstoppable. So no, you're not weak, you're not broken, you've just been scattered. But now is your time to center yourself, to align your actions with your purpose, to quiet the noise and let your inner fire roar, turn off the distractions, tune into your mission, and show this world what happens when a focused mind goes to war. Feed your focus, starve your distractions. You've heard it said before, but let it sink in now. What you feed will grow, and what you starve will wither. That applies not just to your body, but to your energy, your ambition, your thoughts. The world isn't designed to make you focused. It's engineered to keep you distracted. The flashing screens, the endless notifications, the constant urge to check, scroll, and compare. It's a trap, a silent thief stealing your time, your strength, and your potential. You are not weak. But when you keep giving your energy to things that don't serve you, of course you feel powerless. That power is still in you. It's just being drained into 1,000 directions. You start a goal, then stop when it gets uncomfortable. You get an idea, then check your phone and forget it. You plan to wake up early, but you scroll until midnight. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of distraction, of misplaced focus, of a war going on inside that you're losing simply because you're not choosing where your attention goes. Discipline is not about restriction. It's about protection. When you discipline your focus, you're guarding your dreams. You're telling the world, I will not waste this life chasing meaningless things. Every time you silence a distraction, you're sharpening your edge. Every time you delay gratification, you're building a foundation. Every time you say no to what's easy, you're saying yes to what lasts. But here's the truth that stings. Most people would rather be entertained than empowered. And that's why most people never break through. You have to decide, do you want comfort or growth? Because you can't have both at the same time. One demands ease, the other demands effort. One gives you now, the other builds your forever. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about noticing when you drift and see. Choosing to come back. It's about keeping your eyes on your mission, not someone else's highlight reel. You don't need more motivation, you need clarity. And clarity comes when you eliminate what clouds your vision. So ask yourself daily, what am I feeding? Am I feeding my excuses or my execution? Am I feeding fear or courage? Am I feeding noise or purpose? The life you want isn't found in a perfect moment. It's found in consistent focus. Feed that focus. Starve the distractions. And you'll realize your strength was never gone. It was just scattered. And now you're bringing it back home. Consistency will set you free. Let's talk about something most people overlook. Consistency. Not talent, not luck, not waiting for the perfect moment, but daily, deliberate effort. Quiet progress, steady steps. That's what separates those who only dream from those who build the dream. And the truth is, most people aren't failing because they're weak. They're failing because they're inconsistent. They do something powerful once, then vanish. They make one bold move, then disappear when it gets hard. But success, transformation, fulfillment, those are earned through repetition, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through doing it again and again and again, especially when no one's watching. Distraction is sneaky. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It shows up as just 5 minutes on your phone. It shows up as you've been working hard. Take a break. Except that break turns into a whole day lost. It convinces you that missing one day won't hurt. And then it becomes a week, then a month, then a habit of letting yourself down. But consistency rewires your identity. Every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you send a message to your mind. I'm serious, I'm focused, I'm becoming who I said I would be. That message compounds. Over time, it turns into confidence, discipline, and self-respect. You don't need to do it perfectly, you just need to do it again and again, even when it's boring, even when it's quiet, especially when it's hard, because that's when the breakthroughs are born. In the silence, in the struggle, in the unseen. Your job is not to sprint, your job is to stay committed, stay focused, stay grounded, stay hungry. And if you fall off, don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for when I feel ready. Get back up immediately. That's how warriors are built. Not by never falling, but by never staying down. The world is full of people who start strong and finish nowhere. Be the one who finishes, even if the start was shaky. Be the one who builds the life they talk about. Be the one who proves that real power isn't in intensity, it's in consistency. So if you want freedom, freedom from regret, from fear, from mediocrity, then earn it through discipline. Earn it through daily effort. Because consistency isn't a prison, it's the path to your greatness. Reclaim your mind, command your life. If you want to win this battle, you have to reclaim the one place that fuels it all, your mind. That's where it begins. That's where it ends. And that's where most people lose the fight, because they never learned how to command their thoughts. They let distractions own their focus. They let negative voices dictate their emotions. But not you, not anymore. You see, your mind is powerful, but it's programmable. It follows whatever you feed it. If you constantly tell yourself you're tired, weak, stuck, your mind will find proof to make that real. But if you start feeding it truth, discipline, purpose, it will align with your commands. That's how you turn chaos into clarity. That's how you take back your edge. But here's the key. It's your responsibility. No one is coming to fix your mindset for you. No one's going to rescue you from your excuses. You have to become the voice that drowns out the doubt. You have to fight for your focus every single day. And it starts with awareness. Start noticing your mental patterns. When do you sabotage yourself? When do you shrink? What thoughts pull you off course? Most people are trapped in loops they don't even see. You have to wake up and take control. Interrupt the loop. Redirect the thought. Replace it with truth. Tell yourself, I am not a victim of distraction. I am a master of focus. Speak it, own it, repeat it, until your brain starts to believe it. This isn't about being delusional. It's about choosing your reality before it chooses you. And yes, you will slip. Yes, there will be days when your thoughts feel heavy, when your focus is foggy, when the old distractions come back stronger. But that's not the end. That's just a test. And if you pass it, if you push through the mental noise and still move forward, you gain something that no one can give you. Mental dominance. That's what this lift demands. Not perfection, but leadership. Not just physical hustle, but mental clarity. The ability to hear the noise and still move. The strength to say, this is what I'm doing today, and actually do it. Your mind is your kingdom. Guard it, train it, lead it. Because once your thoughts align with your mission, your actions will follow. And when your actions are consistent, distraction loses its grip. Fear loses its power. And weakness, it fades. Not because you became superhuman, but because you became intentional. You made a decision to stop letting the noise win. Command your mind, and you command your life. Replace distraction with discipline. Every time you let your phone pull you into an endless scroll, every moment you allow someone else's urgency to steal your time, every minute lost in procrastination, you're feeding the illusion that you're not strong enough. But here's the truth. You're not weak. You're distracted. And distractions are not stronger than you unless you let them be. Discipline is the antidote to distraction. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, it's not loud, but it is effective. Discipline is what allows you to choose what matters most over what's easiest right now. It's the quiet voice that tells you to get up even when no one is watching. It's the internal push that says, I promised myself I'd do this, and then follows through. If you want to change your life, you don't need more motivation. You need better systems, stronger discipline, and a deeper sense of purpose. Because discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about consistently choosing actions that serve your growth, even when distractions scream louder. Think about it. How many dreams have you delayed not because they were out of reach, but because you kept getting pulled away from them? You said you'd write that book, start that business, get healthy, but you kept pushing it back. For what? A few more notifications? A few more episodes? You're not weak, you're distracted, and it's costing you everything. Your time is not infinite. Every day you spend caught in distractions is a day you don't get back. So what's it going to be? Do you keep living the same loop over and over, telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow? Or do you take control today? Eliminate what doesn't serve you. Get clear on what you want. Then build daily discipline like a wall that protects your purpose from distractions. That's where real strength lives. Not in pretending you're superhuman. Be it in staying focused when life tries to pull you in every direction. Reclaim your power by reclaiming your attention. You don't need more time. You need fewer excuses. You don't need more talent. You need less distraction. The power is already in you. Don't waste it anymore. You've come this far in this journey for a reason. You've felt the tug inside your soul, the desire to rise, to break free from everything pulling you down. And now the truth is clear. You're not broken. You're not powerless. You're not lazy or incapable. You're distracted. And distraction is a thief, a silent one. It doesn't come with warning signs or loud alarms. It sneaks in through convenience, through comfort, through the lie that says, just one more minute, and turns into hours. Distraction doesn't just steal your time. It steals your energy, your self-respect, your confidence. It makes you forget your power. But now, you remember. You remember that you were made for more, that there's something in you waiting to be unleashed, not someday, not when the timing is perfect, not when everything settles down, but now. The strongest people aren't those who never get distracted. They're the ones who recognize it, call it out, and refuse to let it define them. They don't wait for focus to magically arrive. They build it, moment by moment, decision by decision. They say no to what doesn't matter, so they can say a resounding yes to what does. And that's your mission now, to turn off the noise and turn inward, to stop reacting and start deciding, to stop watching others live and start designing your own life. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more wasting hours, days or years to things that don't deserve your energy. If you want to grow, build, lead, heal or transform, then it starts with where your focus goes every single day. You owe it to the version of you who believed in this dream before you got distracted. You owe it to the future you who will look back one day and say, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for choosing discipline. Thank you for choosing me. So stand up, clean your space, turn off the background noise, breathe deeply, and begin again, this time with clarity, this time with intention, this time with the fire of someone who refuses to waste their potential any longer. The world doesn't need another distracted soul. It needs someone like you, sharp, focused, relentless. You don't need more time, you need more presence. You don't need a new path, you need unshakable focus on the one you already know is meant for you. You don't need to become someone else. You need to return to who you've always been, beneath the noise. You're not weak, you're not lost. You're not behind, you're simply becoming. And now, finally, you're ready to live like it,